What is going on, JAG-TALK Nation? And I am so excited because I have a couple guests with me today. I have
Zion Ross
and Delaisha Davis.
And we are here to talk about Spring Fest. Ladies, I am so glad to have you. And now I have a new member joining me, Delaisha.
Hi y'all, my name is Sanaya Rucker.
I'm so glad to have you ladies here with me today to talk about Spring Fest and everything that we have planned. First and foremost, I want to ask you guys, where are your hometowns?
Well, my name is Zion, once again. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm currently a criminal justice major, minor in business, and I'm just very happy to be here.
I'm so glad to hear that.
What's up, y'all? My name is Delaisha, but I'm kind of known by Lay. I am from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a graduating senior majoring in business management with a minor in human resource and insurance. I'm so happy to be here today.
I'm so glad to have you guys.
Okay, so my name is Sanaya Rucker. I am from the 318 Monroe, Louisiana. Stand up.
Okay. So I invited you guys here to discuss Spring Fest, right? So I want to explain you guys' roles in JAG so people can understand what did you guys play in terms of planning.
Okay, so I am in SGA. I serve as Executive Cabinet Chief of Staff, and basically, I feel like our role was basically to assist JAB. I love working with JAB. Y'all are absolutely amazing, and you know how I feel about y'all. So, just assisting them and making sure we come up with great events and ideas. And I think we pair well together too, also.
So I am the Director of Internal Affairs of JAB. I am also a founding member of JAB. Shout out to that first founding member cohort. Y'all know who y'all are. So basically as Director of Internal Affairs, I am over the membership of JAB. All of our general body members, y'all know I'm always in that group me sending text messages. Y'all know who this is. So dealing with the Director of Internal Affairs, I am overseer of all our general body members. Right now we have at least over 100 general body members. And on top of being over the general body members, I am also over our intern program for that next cohort, be prepared to basically replace us once we leave. So.
Okay, so for that next cohort, what do you guys normally look for when you guys are choosing those people?
Honestly, it's nothing specific. Like, long as you creative, got some vibes, got some ideas, we want you in JAB. There's no specific thing. We don't care about your major, your GPA. None of that matters in JAB. As long as you bring in the energy and the creativity, that's all we need to see.
Okay. So now, what is your classification?
I'm a freshman, but I'm also in JAB, the entertainment chairman.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, let's talk about it. So as a freshman joining finally, being active, how do you feel about that?
It's very much new, especially because I was the kid that was always in the bag, not trying to seek for just the attention, just not in the crowd. So like coming into my spring semester, I was trying to get more out there. So for the first time, I was just like trying to go to like events and stuff, and it kind of got me on my show. But at the same time, I'm still in there, but like I'm getting there.
I'm glad to hear it.
SGA position, so I'm getting there.
I'm so glad to hear it. I'm so glad that you have these young ladies to help you move up in your career, because I'm telling you, you have the best, because we are the standard. And I want to talk about the activity review. So this time around, we were waiting for the events because we were on our toes. We was like, y'all, we thirsty. We waiting for that flyer, and y'all dropped that flyer, and it was something to see. I'm not gonna lie to you. So let's talk about the theme. What is the theme this time around?
So the theme is You Got Spring Fest, and it came from You Got Served. I'm not gonna lie, the way we came up with that idea, like we really we bounced right off of each other. Like once we heard that was it. Like we like, oh yeah, that's the one.
And we always in JAB, we always try to find a theme that we haven't done in Southern before. Because we all know JAB we're in our second year of JAB. So before SGA used to do homecoming and Spring Fest.
So what was the switch? Why did we switch?
I think the major switch was just so SGA can focus on governing the students and JAB can focus on programming events. Just because governing the students and programming events can become a lot, because being as a 2-year JAB member, programming events itself is a lot. So I couldn't imagine trying to program events and govern the students. So it was kind of created to kind of take the load off of SGA, but also get more feedback from the students. So like I said, with the general body members, that is our student cohort where we get the student opinions. What artists do y'all want to see? What events y'all think we might want to have? Even when it came down to the theme, when we first discussed theme, we did it in our general body meetings, and we would just let the students throw out any ideas of what themes they had. We had cowgirl themes, we had a space theme, it was like a water theme, it was so many themes that we just had to narrow it down to like, okay, what's the theme that could fit everybody, but we can create events that kind of like mix with everybody. because our main focus on JAB is to cater to all the students, not just the males, not just the females, not just the people from VR, but we trying to cater to everybody and make everybody feel comfortable to come out to the events.
Most definitely, most definitely. And I want to ask you guys, because we were talking about, you know, making sure everyone feels comfortable. Right. So this time around, we're going to be making sure that our students are able to come in using their IDs. So we've had, you know, events in the past where we tried to invite outside people. So why are we not doing that this time around?
The main reason for that would definitely be safety reasons. Yeah. Every time we let outside people on campus, something always happens. I'm sure y'all seen it on SideChat, y'all seen it on Twitter, seen it on the blogs. And that's just a negative look for our university. We try to be nice and let outside people come, but it always backflashes on us. So I think it'll just be better to cater to the students, especially since the students are paying for the events. I think we should just cater to them instead of trying to also cater to outside people.
For sure. So I wanted to ask you guys, how do you feel about the possibility of, because I remember we were talking at one point, I think I was discussing with Ms. Nala around this time last year, and we were talking about financial, you know, issues being part of the reason why, you know, we have to do things the way that we do them. And do you think that possibly having, you know, security screening and inviting outside people in, paying for tickets and things like that would help with funding possible events going forward?
Well, personally, I think, you know, it's always a great idea. It always sounds good, but the fact that we've tried it and it's always, we always run into a problem with it. If it was a way that we can efficiently do it in a positive way, that would definitely be something to think about, but it seems like every time we try, it always
I understand.
And one thing we learned with letting outside people in, it's fun, it's nice to get the, you know, the university a little more lit because there's a lot more people on university, but we've also learned not all money is good money.
Hello.
Sometimes you just need to say, you know what, we're just not going to open this up to the public. We're just going to, it's for the safety of the students. I'd rather have safety over a couple $100.
That's so real. That is so real. So I want to go over this list of events real quick. So I want to ask you guys, out of the whole list, what is your favorite event that got planned?
Okay.
Like, what are you looking forward to? Y'all both started smiling.
It's so hard.
I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love every single event, but the fact that we went through so many obstacles to get that late night Pretty Wednesday.
I was so happy to see that come back.
I'm sorry though, but that's my favorite.
It is.
I mean, it's just one of those things that we never forget. I never forget a late night Pretty Wednesday. No matter how many Pretty Wednesdays we have, the ones that stick in my head are the late night ones every time.
Literally, but it's been so long, I think, since we had one. And it's gotten to the point where our flow kind of got gypped, LSU. But we need to bring it back and do it right and do it our way. Because, come on.
That's what we're hoping. This time, Pretty Wednesday, it is the late night Pretty Wednesday, but we will still be checking IDs. We are still doing bag checks.
Everything.
The security is trying to be top tier. Because if this late night Pretty Wednesday go well, you can definitely see more in the future.
Exactly.
But let's just kind of try to keep it positive, no negative vibes. If this go good, you can see definitely more late night Pretty Wednesday.
I'm so excited to hear that. I think for me, the concert, the lineup, I was very excited to see that. Because I'm not going to lie, Huncho came down here not too long ago, and I missed him the last time, and he swung his behind back, and I'm like, yes!
I'm good.
I'm just very excited for Lloyd. I'm very excited for Lloyd. I did not expect him to come back out, especially at Southern University. So when I seen that lineup, I was like, oh, this is giving life. Like, this is just...
So the goal with the concert, we were still trying to match the theme, but also have artists that everybody knew. Because like Huncho and everybody, they pretty popular right now. So it's like, why not get them? Everybody know their song. And then Lloyd, that was for the throwback. That was for the ladies. That was for my girls. Like, I know we don't have any female artists, but y'all know Lloyd.
It's for the girls. It's for the girls.
You got your rah-rah, and you got your R&B. So it's a nice little mixture of a vibe.
Exactly. And since we was talking about artists, I know we have our positives, we have our negatives. And again, when you're in leadership, people are going to have their opinions, whether we love them or not. As hard as we work, they don't see it, and that's why you're here right now to explain and help us understand. So some people were wondering, how were these artists chosen? So what is the process of contacting them and choosing, you know, who is going to be here and who is not?
Okay, so these artists were chosen by the students. During the org fair this semester, if you came to the JAG table, we had a bucket to where you just write any artist name you wanted to and put it in the bucket. After that meeting, we kind of went through all the artists to see who was available, who wasn't available. Because, you know, a lot of artists are on tour right now. And some people just aren't available because of their schedule already being made.
Right.
But most of these artists, their schedules are already made a year in advance. So by the time we contacting them, they're basically squeezing us in, which we are mostly grateful for. So we kind of just went through the list of what the students suggested and kind of did a count up of like, okay, well, this one got the most votes, this one got the most votes. And kind of just went from there. And then once we kind of decided, okay, so this is who we looking at, then we would go forward as contacting that artist. Hey, are you available for this date? We're interested you come out to the Spring Fest concert, you know, for Southern University students and just have a good time. And sometimes the artists will tell us no. We've had some artists that has, you know, turned us down due to scheduling reasons or just due to they just can't come or maybe because we couldn't meet their financial needs. That is happening as well.
Everybody has their price, and you know what? I feel like at the end of the day, you guys put on and y'all do y'all's best, and I'm grateful for what we got because first and foremost, these visuals, 8.
Right?
The visuals.
Let's talk about it for real.
Shout out Tyra.
For real.
He did his big one, and you guys look so great right here. Super fly, super fresh, and I'm just loving this look overall. And I hope that you guys attend these Spring Fest events. Our JAG Activity Board, they work so hard to make these things happen. And to support our student leaders, we have to show up, and it is super, super, super important. And I want to ask you guys, what are some Spring Fest essentials, basically? Like your favorite stores that you shop at right before, you know, it's time for an event, the things that you need, what's in that purse? I want to know, what are your essentials?
Okay, so I want to let y'all know now, please come with a clear bag. So if anything, y'all need to go find that because we're not going to let bags that aren't clear come in. So just make sure y'all have that. That's probably one of my top
And
things.
definitely get your ID. We are definitely cracking down on the virtual IDs. If you come with a hard copy ID, unfortunately, Ms. Dollar will turn you away at the door.
It's not gonna work.
So we've been posting on JAG. Please get your IDs now. Even if the Wi-Fi failing, at least have a screenshot.
Yeah.
At least have
I
something
definitely have a screenshot.
to where I just don't have to turn you around. Because I would hate to do it. You don't hate your money. Let you know now. I would hate to do
We
it.
don't even want to do it.
We
Like, that's
don't,
the thing.
but the university has their guidelines, and at the end of the day, we still are students, so we just gotta do what they say.
For sure, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like this time around, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
We gonna do it big, but you gotta follow the rules.
Right.
That's just what it has to be. And I think our community, we just have to do a better job of understanding that. And once we understand that, it should be a smooth ride. Like it should be a smooth
Most
ride.
of the things we do is for the students' safety. I know sometimes they don't see it that way, but that is also always our biggest concern. Because y'all also know with Southern University campus, our campus is pretty open.
Right.
It's not really hard to get on our campus. So like I said, student safety is our biggest priority, especially when it comes down to like the concert. Like that's a lot of people in the
It
video.
is.
So if like God forbid if something was to happen, we want to be able to take care of it right away without any complications.
Right. And I can applaud you guys for how professionally you guys are handling these questions because I'm telling you, I know the pressure of being a student and trying to delegate and still represent, but have that understanding still as a student. Like, I understand.
I think
Go ahead.
I think people don't notice how much we sacrifice our experience because a lot of times we have to be in the background making sure that all the artists are okay, making sure everyone else is okay. Sometimes we don't get to experience what they get to experience, and I like people to show us grace because we really do try, like we do.
And we know this. That's why you're here right now because people, you guys need to ease up because it's a lot of talking behind jobs you guys don't take on.
Yeah.
And that's why we try to encourage everybody. If you want to know what's going on behind the scenes, come join JAG.
Right.
You're gonna learn why
Or
we
join
got
SGA
why
or
this paid this much, why this cost this much, where your $80 went. Look, these artists are not cheap, babes.
No, they're not. They're not.
On
The
top of the artists, we got lighting, we got security, we got food trucks. Like a lot of stuff adds up that the students don't see when it comes to behind the scenes. But that's why I just suggest y'all to join JAG, and you gonna really get the rundown. You gonna be like, wow, now I see why we had to go with the $80.
For sure. Like we try to encourage our students to go to the Senate meetings as well because just as many questions that pop up on side chat, they need to happen in those meetings because that's where it's getting handled.
Exactly, and even if you don't think JAB is for you, I think SGA, Exec Cab, that's an amazing position. It's really eye opening, and I don't know, just being on side of them, I get to see how hard y'all work, and I'd be so proud. Because we do tend more to the, making sure that the campus okay. attend more to doing events and stuff like that. And I just really appreciate the different orgs and how we, you know, come together to get stuff right for the students.
sure.
Like, for real.
For sure. And I just want to give you ladies a round of applause for coming in here and visiting us today, because I really enjoyed you guys' time. We're going to take a quick break, and I just want to thank you so much for coming to stop and talk with us. And I hope you guys enjoy Spring Fest, because I know you guys work really hard. So thank you for coming to see me.
See y'all at Spring Fest.
So much for taking the time to listen to our quick break. It is very important that you guys sign up and join for the yearbook, because why would you have an organization and not get acknowledged for it? Join the yearbook. Come on, let's get this together. So anywho, I'm glad we was able to discuss Spring Fest. But let's talk about current events. What's been dropping in the media? Sanaya, have you been seeing what's been going on?
Girl, yes. Okay, so on TikTok, I've been seeing. It's crazy because I just seen this week, like prior to this week, and it's been this. I guess these accommodations with isn't it the producer of Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Dan Schneider.
And like the sexual like abuse and stuff like that, and it's just like crazy because it's like all these TV shows that we used to just watch, I never just looked and just to think like, oh, something is going on behind the scenes. So it just really hurt my heart, and like especially when you look in the comments, it's just so bad, like so bad. Like from the comments, people like they'll just be sitting there pointing out things, and you just be like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, what? So yeah, that really hurt my heart, like seriously. There's so many things that we really come up on, it was just like, it can't be.
And you guys, I forgot to mention, we had a switch of positions. We have Austin and Darian joining me on the mic for the end of this segment, because they had some strong opinions about this not too long ago. So Darian, I'm gonna start with you. So how do you feel about, you know, growing up as a child watching Nickelodeon, and now we're seeing that some of the scenes that we were watching were inspired by misconstruing the vision of children? Like, how do you feel?
Like Sanaya said, I totally agree with her. Like, it's heartbreaking to see, like, this is what happened behind the scenes and stuff like that. But me personally, I feel like now that after seeing this documentary and we see, like, what happened behind the scene, our viewpoints on Hollywood has changed, like, completely. So that's how I feel about that situation.
So with my situation, it's like, so I actually didn't see the documentary, but I did see a few clips, you know, on TikTok. Yeah. So when I seen the clip with the dude, with one of the producers having his birthday party, and like the whole theme was over some killer or whatever it was, it was in a documentary. And I'm here like, okay, yeah, that's a wrap. I'm not watching that. Like, nah, you got me messed up. Like, but it really is like, it's crazy that this stuff was going on behind, like, when it came to producing a lot of these shows that, again, we grew up with. Like, I know it's me repeating that, but it really is messed up. Like it really is.
And then on top of that, it's sad to say that, like, these were kids that were being put through these situations too. And
then naturally, as a child, especially coming up in your career in acting, you'll do anything. And basically, when you watch the documentary itself, some of the members are saying, like, you know, I knew that if I wasn't on Dan Schneider's good graces, then I wouldn't get as much airtime. So some of the things that they may not have agreed with on set, they still carry that out as children because they wanted to secure their career. And when you're 12, 13, 14, whatever, you may have a little bit of ability to make decisions, but overall you want your outcome to be your outcome. So 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna tell the big boss no.
Yeah, so you're gonna do whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you were saying, on top of that, it's like the spotlight was on them. So therefore, I feel like as kids, they wasn't like too comfortable with coming out just to say like, oh, my boss is like, just sexually harassing me or something like that. Like, they was just not too comfortable for that. They were kids, and it would want to be like embarrassment, So it wasn't. I guess you could just say like it was just a heartbreaking moment for them because it's like they had to just either like shut up and just do it, and you would just never see it because they would act it out like straight up.
For sure, and then like, oh, go ahead.
And I'm sorry, but like I think the messed up part is when I realized that Dan Schneider was like producing these shows since even before I was born, like in the mid-late 90s. So it's like the amount of kids in the years, like really 2-3 decades that was at this whole thing was going on. Like I'm trying to figure out, like, well, I'm not trying to figure out, but I'm just like, dang, like they could have really had, they could have spoke up, but it's like, you know, I understand, like things really just, you know,
kind of had no choice.
Yeah, had no choice. Yeah.
For sure. And I want to know, of course, we are not in the perspectives of these people, but we see this a lot in Hollywood. Let's be real. Like, we've seen R. Kelly, and you know how that went down. And now we're seeing this whole Dan Schneider thing, you know, come out. We've seen Jeffrey Epstein. Like, we've had all these documentaries come out with these children, you know, being abused essentially, emotionally, you know, whatever it is, sexually. And the parents are around. So I want to know, do you guys agree with the fact that sometimes parents turn a blind eye to certain things just so that their child reaches a certain point?
For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Because like, you know, just from, especially from like parents that didn't really have that coming up, they just wanted to make, like, they say they try to make their kids be something they wasn't. So therefore they try to turn the cheek, act like they don't see it just because they want them to be successful, but that still doesn't make it right, you know?
Right.
So it's still not right into a perspective, but like, I see they trying to do the best, but that's just not the best. I'm trying to find the word here. I am. For the long run. I'm sorry.
I don't want to get off topic though, but I just feel like personally, as a parent, you should never take your eyes off your kids.
That's not off topic. That's very on topic, because again, I feel like, you know, these children that make it to a certain place and then they forget that these children are not a business. They're they have bodies, they have minds, they have emotions. So sometimes the things that you try to get a child to persevere through or push through is going beyond their capabilities at the moment. And I think it's very selfish sometimes to ignore the humanity of a child and continue to exploit them. And then we see later on in life, you know, they heavily influenced with drugs, alcohol,
right.
You know, sexually unstable, all types of things based off of their upbringing in the limelight. So I want to take a quick turn though, because we were talking about children and sexual, you know, issues, but I'm sorry guys, but we got to talk about it. Diddy Combs.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. So I heard about this, and it's like,
We're not gonna get too deep into it because we're gonna get the full investigation. We're gonna talk about the case and everything next week, but I just want to brief it.
yeah. So it's like, I ain't gonna lie, it blew me when I seen it. But I was like he kind of, honestly, with all the shady stuff he had going on prior, I think he had it coming. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't like how he got on a plane and left somewhere and got his kids arrested. That's what I'm not understanding. His children, his sons got arrested, and he is somewhere we don't know where he's at.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't know that either.
I just know he did
Both his sons got arrested, got caught, I think, in Miami. And he is somewhere, we don't know where he is. And I'm like, oh man.
Probably relaxed.
Yeah,
And send a plane somewhere falsely to throw the feds off. You left them to get caught up. I don't know. We're going to get deeper into it, but I wanted to talk about that for a hot second. But lastly, Austin.
Okay, so if you don't know, I do know, because I took a look.
You took more than a look.
I took a little peek, you know, of the documentary on Hulu, and
What documentary?
About?
Freak Nick. And man, oh man, when I seen it, I was like, really? So this is what they had going on back then? I was like, oh my gosh, I was blown. But then, like, I was blown, but then it was like, you know what? When I think about it, like, it makes sense because unlike nowadays, back then, you know, they didn't have too many cameras, like they didn't have social media. So they could have basically got away with whatever, you know, we had going on, like way more back then. So
oh yeah, they went dumb.
yeah.
And I feel like, you know, from another standpoint, like, we know we party. We knew that. We know that already. It's in us. You know, it ain't on us. But the thing is that Freaknik became a place to build your rap career, whatever career, whatever business you have. People were coming in there and advocating for themselves, connecting with people, networking through what we enjoy, which is music, turning up, having a good time, and community. And I miss, like, just watching that. I'm saying I miss it, but I never really had it. But whatever, that whole idea of what they were doing, like in the 90s, like, I feel like we need to bring that back in a way. We disconnected so badly. I feel like we could blame it on COVID, but you know, social media and stuff, like, we just not moving as a unit like that anymore. And I want to be able to bring that back in some way, shape, or form.
Now, I ain't gonna say never, but I don't see Freaknik being brought back no time soon. I mean, hey, I hate that, but I don't see it happening. Why? Is because I feel like social media got a big part in it. I mean, you was able to get away with a lot of stuff back then than you are now. That's one thing for sure. And then on top of that, it's like this generation today versus in the 90s is way different. Like, people-wise, all that, everything. I mean, social skills, all that. Like, a party in the 90s and a party in 2024 is way different.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I mean, you look out there back in the day, they was out there, it was jumping as soon as you hit the door. But I mean, nowadays, you gotta go through the weird, awkward phone phase real quick where everybody just standing around.
On the wall.
Yeah, they wall sitting, whatever. And then once we get past that point, people finally start moving. Then it get back crazy at the end, like, you know, it gets there, but it's just like, it's a different vibe for sure. It's a different vibe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see it being brought back no time soon.
I feel like it's solely because also, like, this generation, I'm saying, because we came more close to, like, being sensitive, not in a way as of, you know, if you was to post you doing, you know, just say Freaknik stuff online, people want to be in the comments talking about you. Like, let's be real. They're going to be saying some type of negative thing about you doing whatever just because you want to have fun. So it's definitely not like the 90s at all.
Honestly, if this ever gets brought back, it's gonna be way different. Like, it's not gonna be the same like how it was back then.
And then on top of that, like, this generation today is too antisocial. On top of that.
I can't lie.
Yeah.
I'm like that though. Like, I have my moments where I want to talk. Like, I get on here, I run my mouth. But then you see me outside, I won't say a word. Like, it's just, I have my moments. But I am so glad that you guys were here to discuss with us today and join us, Austin and Darian. Sanaya, do you have any last thoughts you want to get to the mic?
Actually, I don't have nothing as of right now. Like, as soon as you said that,
It was like, oh, girl.
Yep.
Boys, y'all have anything left to say to the mic?
I mean, not really. I'm just looking forward to Spring Fest, though.
I'm so excited for that, and I'm so looking forward to it. You guys, make sure that you have your clear bags and your IDs on deck because they are on check. So you don't forget that, okay? Make sure you guys are following us at SouthernU_OSM so you keep up with every single thing that we have going on in JAG-TALK Nation. Make sure that you're tapped in with us on YouTube as well because JAG-TALK After Hours goes up every Thursday, and you don't want to miss this conversation coming up tonight. So make sure that you follow us, keep up with us, you know how it goes. And I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm your host, Lailasimone.